guys and gals, and here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and something about on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Sylving, Reforged. And let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright, but no more of that. Today I'm getting hands-on training by Agnar, the fabled werewolf, warrior of Dulcet. Think back to when I first met Mikkel, and that almost unnatural speed at which he fled from me. If he could run at that speed, despite presumably being an unfit noble, then I must be able to manage the same now that I'm a deer like them. But I'm a lion man, so maybe instead of primal speed, it's feline reflexes and dexterity. Can I leap like a cat? Always land on my feet? Will I be able to sprint up walls, cling from the narrowest ledges, and balance on a post like a kung fu master? They call it parkour, right? Superhuman lion-like parkour. That sounds like a neat superpower. I can be happy with that. Agnar can keep the super strength for himself. I grinned to myself, looking forward to whatever Agnar has planned for me. It took him all day, and some of yesterday, too. I bet it's an obstacle course. With, like, rolling logs suspended in water, a maze of spinning boards, a wall running section, and a field of posts that I'll have to leap over while he throws water balloons at me or something. Whatever it is, it's gotta be more fun than Mikkel's endless history lessons. After crossing the bridge, we take a sudden turn to the left where the road splits into two. We're approaching a small, and I get the sense our destination is just, we approach a small? Yeah, we're approaching a small, interesting, house, I guess? And I get the sense our destination is just on the other side. My anticipation grows. I can barely contain my excitement and what's in store for me, and we cleared the hill only to be met with a janky old house on a questionably raised foundation. It has seen better days. It doesn't look like anyone's lived here in a very long time. In complete disrepair, it looks as though one moderate gust of wind would blow the whole thing over. Here we are, and this is where we'll conduct your training. This? Really? When he said we're going to a training ground, I was at least expecting a place where the local warriors spar, or an archery range, or something. This is just someone's hermit backyard. This is just some hermit's backyard. Are you sure we should be training here? It doesn't look at all that safe and of a place to do it. Yes, Aaron, I've been using this place myself for my own training for the past 5 years. You'll be fine as long as you don't climb inside the building. But it looks deserted. What is it even supposed to be? It was a barn that was abandoned long before I arrived at the village, but it's free for anyone to use. He ducks into the space under the house and stores the sack inside, only to return with a shovel he fished out from it. The farmers use it to store old or worn equipment they aren't using anymore. Anyone's free to come by and borrow what's inside. He drags the shovel across the ground, walking backwards as long as he marks a straight line in the dirt that is several meters long. First, we need to carefully figure out exactly why you're having so much trouble walking. I assume you did not have issues in your previous form. Yeah, I didn't have any physical disabilities. Walking was easy. I wouldn't say it was the most graceful about it, but it's not like I was turning heads or falling over all the time. All right, then. Let's see what you can do. He gestures to the line, and my eyes dart from him to it and back again. Walk the full length of that line, 1 foot paw in front of the other as steadily as you can. You must be joking. No, I am not. This is where we shall start. I am not that hopeless. I know how to walk. Your walk doesn't look natural, and more importantly, you don't walk like a noble should. The excuse that your illness has impaired your stance is quickly wearing thin. Everyone has seen how quickly you've recovered now. Hey, yeah. Why are we telling everyone I'm a noble? Isn't that an unnecessary and risky detail? There's a number of reasons, but chief among them is that you're a lion. What does that have to do with anything? Most lions in this and the neighboring kingdoms are nobles, or have deep connections to them. Everyone assuming you are one is a matter of course. Seriously? Just happen to roll the most gilded species in this world? I would prefer if I became a wolf instead, just to avoid the hassle. Given your circumstances, and that everyone already knew you were connected to Lord Mikkel, the only sensible choice was to make you the son of a lesser-known family of a small, far-away domain. As you must now live like a noble, you must learn to walk like one, too, and that starts with this line. I can walk in a straight line. I'm not a baby. All right, then. Show me. He scoffs as he says that. How hard could this possibly be? I confidently take my first step, round the line as I begin to trace it, but my stance is already faltering on the second step. I'm forced to lean to the right before sticking my arms out as a counterbalance. After a couple seconds, I find my center. However, the tail throws my hips out with its erratic thrashing again. I'm forced to take my next step while fighting against its movements. I thought I was getting better, but sticking to an established path with my feet together is proving to be more of a challenge than expected. The tail yanks me off the mark more times than I'd like to admit before I totter to the end of the line. There, see? Yes, I see very well. Agnar? Yes. Now what? Well, are you done? Done with what? I walked the line, didn't I? I'm not convinced. Do it 2 more times. I take a sharp inhale through my nose and huff. You didn't have to say it like that. But I do as I'm told and walk the line twice more. I try to put my arms down and will my tail to stay still, but no luck. Each attempt is worse than the last. I return to Agnar. He looks far from impressed, but I can't keep up my bravado any longer. Do you feel like that went well? I sigh and scratch the back of my furry neck. I'll admit, that was more difficult than I would have thought. It wasn't very good. I didn't think it would be so hard, but it's just a line in the dirt. Shouldn't we be doing something more? To trigger my feline reflexes or something? Do you believe I made the task simple because I was going easy on you? Well, I mean, we've barely started your training. I have to see how you carry yourself first before I can even determine what's throwing off your coordination. I don't even know what Sylvings look like. Not really. I can't picture how you carried yourself before, or how a Sylving is meant to. I don't doubt you were fine before, but you're a lion now. Your body has changed. There are going to be differences neither of us can anticipate. But the one thing I do know is how a deer should walk. However you may think of me, you must at least trust that I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, what's the point of me teaching you? You can't pretend to know better than I do how a lion is meant to carry themselves, or how to get you to that point. Because you don't. If you did, you wouldn't need my help. My hands fidget with the hem of my shirt, and I look away. His pointed words sting worse than my claws ever did, and I can't bring myself to reply. What's worse is that I can't even say that he's wrong. I don't know anything about this world, its people, or even really how to be like them. The big wolf sighs, walks over, and places a comforting hand on my shoulder. I understand how this training may seem like me treating you like a cub, but I'm not. I'm giving you the training you need. If it wasn't important for you to begin here, we wouldn't be doing it. Not knowing how to retort that, I simply don't say anything and cross my arms, looking away. It may be childish, but it's frustrating that I have to start here. What makes it worse is that he's right. I couldn't walk this simple line without waving my arms around to find my balance. I can't make you trust me, Aaron, but I'm asking you to give me a chance. I just want to go adapt and walk more freely in this world already, but reality just isn't that simple. I rub my neck, embarrassed and let out a heavy sigh for even pitching a fuss. Looking up to the big wolf, I shake off my inner thoughts and put my stubborn pride aside. Okay, I'll follow your training, without question. Thank you for understanding. Let's try this again. I'll help you through each step. Agnar moves back to the line, standing in front of me with his hand outstretched. I follow him, keeping my eyes on the ground to watch my step, and hover my hands above his in case I trip. Agnar leads the way at a slow, cautious pace. His stride is longer than mine, so even though he's going backwards, I'm forced to take more ambitious steps to keep up. Look at me, not down. Simply feel the ground beneath your feet. Doing as he tells me, I keep my eyes glued to his face. He's wearing that fixated look again, his eyes fully focused on my legs. I wonder if he's aware of how serious his face looks when he's concentrating like that. For each step I take, it gets a bit easier. The claws on my toes drag against the ground a few times, but it's not so bad. We walk down the line and back, and I look up at Agmar as we finish the second round. You did good, Aaron. Your stride has a noticeable improvement already. Now turn around and hold your back straight. Here, let me show you. I turn my back to him, feeling his hand rest on my shoulder, but then his other hand presses against the small of my back to adjust my posture. His hand moves down, pressing dangerously low on my back. You need to keep your back straight. Keep your chin up, surveying your surroundings, and relax. His voice goes right into my ear with his furry chin rubbing it, making it flick. I knew he would be close when guiding me, but not this close. I put my hand up and brushed his muzzle away, inadvertently petting it. I try to play it off by scratching behind my ears. You're losing your focus. Don't get distracted. Sorry, but having you right in my ear tickled a lot. Could you move your head a little? Ah, my apologies. I didn't realize. He adjusts his head a bit higher now. It's not directly in my ear anymore, but it's still pretty close. When my posture slips, he again uses his control over me to nudge it back into position. You seem to slouch a lot. Did you usually carry yourself like this before? I mean, yeah, I guess. That's not good for your back. You need to straighten up, like you've been roped to a wooden plank. I've heard that one before, but this is the first time failing to be proper has ever had any consequences. Now, keep it like that as you go. It's awkward walking with someone pressing my back like his. I have to maintain my balance against his push while moving forward at the pace he sets. But it does make things easier, like something within my body just clicks. We walk up and down the line over and over again, him keeping a firm grip on my shoulder. You know, I needed some time adjusting to how I carried myself in the past, too. I used to specialize in bows and daggers when I first started out my training. I didn't have to worry about how I held myself. This is back when I was young. I hadn't grown so large yet. I took to them naturally and never used anything else. He sighed, slowing his pace. But as I grew older, I had to change my equipment when my mentor put me on a heavy weapons training. At the time, he said it was so I could maintain good form in the future. I thought I knew better and went against his orders. I was rather stubborn back then. My body developed, and the equipment I preferred no longer provided the same results because I had grown too big and clumsy. I relented and did as my mentor told me, but by then I had missed my chance to make a smooth transition. Do you know what weapon I disliked the most? Which I was told I had to use? Before I can answer, we turn around, making me focus back on my footing. Great swords, claymores, and broadswords. My feet stumble for a moment, but Agnar holds me steady with little effort. Really? Then why are you carrying a big sword now? Huh. Well, it's because I refused to embrace change. I wanted to stick to the tricks and tactics I knew already. I was such a stubborn boy. I was very confident in the skills I had, and I was sure I could do no better. And so I learned bad technique after bad technique because I insisted on training on my own, rather than carry the sword my mentor gave me. I just couldn't accept the hand life had dealt me. I wanted to go back to the dagger and bows so badly, but I had already grown thrice my old size. Those kinds of weapons are more suited to those with average build and height. My mentor knew it would never work out for me, long before I did. Agnar steps to the side of the line, walking alongside me with only a ginger touch. It's tricky remembering not to slouch while also listening to his tale, but I don't want to disappoint him or miss out on it. I used to be the best of my class, and was proud of that fact. The others my age wished they could match my skill to aim. Because I was too obsessed with what I knew, my technique fell further and further behind the others after the switch of the weapon, not to mention how poorly I matched up to those who were trained with heavy weapons from the start. This all to say that it's important to do things right the first time. It is so many times harder to unlearn a bad habit than it is to learn a new one. Thankfully, he was patient with this wolf. We turn around at the end of the line again. I'm just now realizing that he's no longer holding on to me. I didn't even notice when he had to let go. One cannot be afraid to adapt to the world or the way their body changes. You can't force fate to change. You can only roll with the punches. I turn around and walk the line for the last time, and for once I think I actually managed to walk it just right, though the tail sort of spoils it by moving around still. There you go, you've made a marked improvement already. I step off the line and puff out my chest proudly. Good enough to pass for a noble? It's better, but we've only just started. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Aw, come on, not you too. What's wrong? I thought you were excited to do more. Yeah, but can't we take a break first? My head is still reeling from Mikkel's history lesson. Heh, that's a good reason. We'll take a quick break before we continue your training. I make my way to the shade of a nearby tree next to a broken wooden fence. There's some logs stacked nearby, so it gives the space a nice, secluded feeling. Agnar stands to the side on the dirt patch under the warmth of the sun. He gazes at the scenery, stance wide and arms crossed. I follow his example and soak in my surroundings, taking in the view of the rolling hills and the dense forest in the distance. I turn my head and look at the old barn, barely standing on its legs of rocks. The roof is missing in places, and a shutter barely hangs on by a single rusty hinge. I'm surprised a building so run down can still stand. Looking up at the tree, I see the sunlight flicker between the leaves. The passing breeze runs through my hair, cooling me down after training in the warm sun. I tilt my head back and close my eyes, enjoying the cool breeze and the bird song coming from above. After a few tranquil minutes, Agnar approaches and interrupts my peaceful rest. During our little exercise, I noticed that your tail's movement is rather unruly. Yeah, it's been like that since day one. It never listens to me no matter what I try. You have no control over it? None. I've never had a tail before. It's pretty new to me still. I know cats are meant to use them for balance, but humans have always gotten by just fine without them. It's an autonomic function. Yep. I hope you're not thinking about clipping it too. What? God, no! Why would I do that? I'm just having trouble figuring out how to control it. I know I need it. I'm not desperate enough to amputate it. I sigh and allow myself to calm down. The more I try to take control of it, the more it freaks me out. I mean, the more it freaks out. It's like it's trying to sabotage me. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can, and also our YouTube memberships. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!